Well, hello and welcome. We're excited to be able to introduce Nicole Lux-Ritchie as our June Spotlight speaker. And I have asked Chuck Oxford, CEO, Chuck Oxford. He's a business consultant who helps business owners tap into their genius. He's an exceptional connection sponsor, powerful contribution team advocate, to introduce Nicole to us today. So take it away, Chuck.
Yeah, thank you. So we're excited to welcome Nicole Lux-Ritchie today as our June Spotlight speaker. And the one thing that is really incredible about her is that she's truly an expert at making your technology work for you. And I love one of her taglines is that don't let technology bully you. And boy, I tell you, I've been there. So really good. So Nicole began her journey into tackling technology for small businesses owners as a support representative during the pioneer days of online baking. She has owned and operated several small businesses ranging from multiple level marketing to business brick and mortar businesses and service-based operations. As a technology guide, productivity consultant and speaker, Nicole has enjoyed over 2 decades of working with small businesses, solopreneurs, and tech-shy individuals to start where they are at. Use what they have and do what they can to build their sustainable business and technology best practices. Nicole bridges the gap between techno-babble and regular human processes. She currently lives in Edmonton, Alberta with her husband, 2 young adults, and 2 cats, and is learning to walk in the snow. So join me in welcoming Nicole today to share with us her wonderful wisdom and aspects. Okay, take it away, Nicole.
Hey, thank you, Chuck. Hello, everybody. It's fun to see the people that I know and the new people that I haven't met yet. I see a couple of you frozen. Hopefully it's not me being frozen, but I'm going to go ahead and start my presentation with sharing my screen. And I'm going to tell you things, and then we're going to kind of talk about things. So here, we're going to start here. So I do specialize in helping us set up a digital office to support you. And my goal for my people is always to set up their technology basically so that it's invisible. So they can just do their stuff, and the technology that helps them do their stuff isn't in their way causing problems. That's always my goal. Sometimes I get it right, and sometimes we have to tinker with it a bit because it's something that is never finished and you can always improve it. So first, I want to kind of explain a little bit of what your digital office is. So when I say digital office, what I'm meaning is email, files, calendars, and contacts. And more specifically, or more importantly, we're talking about your communication that you have with your clients and your power partners, your referral partners, and your general people, and then how you manage and arrange your information, how you manage your productivity and really protect and use the best in your time. And then, of course, relationships. I know Cindy talks a lot about the importance of managing your relationships, which is beautiful and wonderful. And I want to show some ways on how to make that technology, how to make technology helpful in that particular situation so that we can complete the connection circle that Cindy talks about. So I want you to just we're going to take a little bit of a step back and I'm using a character, and we're going to talk about Marion. And Marion is my testing character, is sort of my idea of, okay, this is a standard, a person who is doing business. So we're going to think about Marion and how she runs her business and just take the things that relate to you and leave the rest. So I want you to imagine in the morning, Marion woke up and the day was bright and sunny. I know that that's not what's happening in Washington right now, but it's going to come back. So imagine the day was bright and sunny. She got up on time, maybe did a little bit of yoga, got her kids off to school on the bus on time, even packed up lunches, did all the things she knows she needs to do. And she's super excited to work on her genius work. So you all know what that is for you in your business. It's the thing that you got into business for. It's the thing that you like the most. Now, we've got our genius work, and then we also have our back-end technology work, which unfortunately we have to deal with. There are some things we cannot delegate, and there are those who, yeah, they have people, but even that, there's a lot of these back-end digital office stuff that we have to do ourselves. So Marion also knows that she has to deal with most specifically her email. Now she can do checking her email before her genius her genius work or after her genius work. So how many of you check your email before you get to your genius work so that you can make sure there aren't any fires? We have a couple of you who do that. Okay, and then how many of you are after the genius work is done, people, to check the email? So we have a couple of those. And then how many of you are kind of in the middle? So we got some in the middles. So maybe skim. Yeah. I definitely go and I check my emails, skim for fires, and then I go do an hour or so of my genius work, and then I go in and I dive into the email. So we're going to pretend that Marion did what you do. So we'll go skipping on here, and now she's at the point where she needs to check her email. So we have a list of emails, and this particular image is a Gmail image, like a Gmail account, but we also, it's very similar to the Outlook and the Yahoo and the Comcast and whichever email platform you're using. So we've got a list of emails, and some of the emails in here are useful and some of the emails are not. So whenever you're opening your computer and you're looking at the emails that you have in there, there's two types of overwhelmed inboxes. So we're just talking about the overwhelmed inboxes right now. If you've got a solid, great way of managing your email, then you can just sort of nod with me and be supportive of the rest of us. But the two different things that make your inbox overwhelming is, one, you've got too many actual requests coming in, meaning that there's too many people pulling at you and needing you to do stuff. And that one is not the one that we're going to address at the moment here, but you'll be able to diagnose whether or not that's you and whether or not you might need a virtual assistant or somebody else to help take off some of the weight. The one that we're going to talk about in this presentation is the email inbox that's full of crap you don't need, stuff that doesn't need to even be in your inbox. And so I know there's sometimes we get a little bit of security blanket around our email, but I'm going to help you kind of release some of that idea, because our goal with our email is to be able to answer the things that actually need to be answered and do the things that actually need to be done. Newsletters are not necessary. Even receipts, we can manage other ways of handling the various receipts and notifications we get via email. There's always ways of streamlining that sort of thing. And we're going to talk a bit about that, but mostly we're going to talk about the actual emails that we have to deal with. So first, I wanted to know that we'll have some questions at the end. I don't take them up front because then I go down rabbit holes and then we all get lost and it's a super bummer. But feel free to put them in the chat, and then we'll have a little question time later. If you have a more sensitive question, I offer an introduction call, and that's a free chat, 30-minute chat with me where we can talk about the stuff that you've got going on in your business. And I will go ahead and put the link to that. I had it already here. I'll put the link to that in the chat, and so feel free to have the chat right here. Feel free to schedule that at any time. All right, so in my presentation, there will be some graphics that might be scary in nature. Go ahead, take a breath, maybe nudge your friend, pet the cat, whatever you need to do. But no, trust me, I've got your back. I just want you to be aware of the monsters. We don't have to actually fight them right now. I can help you fight them if you want to fight them, though, because that's my favorite thing. I put the link to that, and now I'm going forward. All right, so we're back to the inbox, and this is a slightly scary inbox because we've got a lot of emails. And you might be able to look at the screen and see that there are 4 emails that Marian actually has to do something about. And we're going to talk about them and how they relate to how your digital office is arranged. The first one here is the specific emails is, can I get a list of references? And this could be the email that's like a, do you remember who? So somebody is sending you an email saying, hey, do you remember that person we talked to? Do you have the contact information for so-and-so, such and such? And so this is an email that you want to answer. Or it's an email where you're like, okay, I need the answer to an individual, a connection. So Marian checks her contact list, and here she's taking a look at wherever her contact list is. She knows she wants to connect our friend to Amy, but she's not sure which Amy and which Amy is current and up to date. So this can be a problem, this contact list entanglement for Marian answering that particular email. So Marian's going to set that email aside, and we're going to go on to the next one. The next email here we have is an I need to reschedule email. And so this is a time-based email. Do you have time for? And here, Marian's going to need to check her calendar. She's going to need to see, okay, do I have a spot on my list? Which spot can I do? What spot did she have? Can we rearrange it? So if she heads on over to her calendar, she's got a couple of things that may get in her way in rescheduling this appointment. If she's got a paper calendar, she's got to be more diligent or diligent in transferring it to a digital calendar in some cases if you've got an automatic scheduler, or your paper calendar can get lost. So that's a difficult point of complication there. With a digital calendar, you do need to regularly enter stuff into it, because this particular calendar here, it looks like the only thing Marian has in her week is coffee at 1 o'clock on Thursday. So how many of you only have to do coffee at 1 o'clock on Thursday? No? None of us are only going to do coffee on Thursday. So there's something clearly wrong with this calendar. So Marian's going to deal with that later and move on to the next email. And the next email here is attached is that report you need for your proposal. And it's basically a, do you remember that file that we need? So either Marian's going to need to go in and look for the file to send it, or she's going to want to download this particular file and save it in her digital system. So the best choice for her is to know where to put this file to begin with, or know where it is to send it. So this is a filing information system. So Marian takes a look at her desktop, and here we've got this sort of nonsense. Now, I love icons. I think they're super great, but really, am I going to be able to find the file if it's hiding over here on Alex's ear, or if it's on Gary's forehead? These icons don't always stay in this particular place, so you might lose files that way. And just opening up a computer screen that's full of these icons is chaotic. It's digital clutter is what I say. And we don't need that sort of thing. You want to open your computer and have it be a nice picture of your family and remember that great time when we all went to Universal Studios together. So this particular situation is something that Marian, I really think, should deal with. But at the moment, that's not what she's doing. She's got to keep going through her list. And now we're going to get to the most scary email of all. So everybody brace yourself for a little bit as we get into this one. And here on this page of emails is the scary email. And it's scary for a variety of reasons. First off, Marian has 4,927 emails in her inbox. So that's a lot of emails that she has to kind of go through. We are right now on page 2 of her email list. So there's at least 50 emails ahead of this very scary email. The reason that this particular slide is extremely scary is because this is the email that she found. It's the I would like to get started right away email. Now that email in and of itself is super exciting and super great. The scary thing is if we go back a bit, is this particular email is unread. And I've seen this with my clients as we go through their inboxes, they'll have an email that's, oh my gosh, this is me, I missed a thing. And this makes Marian super, super sad because she missed an email of someone who wanted to work with her. So this right here is the absolute why that I want to work with people in their inboxes, because we don't ever want this to happen. Now, it's okay to have 5,000 emails in your inbox if you've got the system in place so that when this email comes in, you can get a great jump on it and you can deal with that email. And so I'm going to share with you a quick little secret that that I use in managing the entire digital office so that we don't ever miss this particular email. And that secret is to balance your improvements with your maintenance. So with that email account, we're going to improve things and then we're going to keep improving them. So we're never going to be done with cleaning out the inbox, because the goal is eventually, once you get the steps in place, whether these steps are unsubscribing from absolutely everything you can possibly unsubscribe from, setting up filters so that you can make sure that, that bank statement from Chase, you don't actually have to see it in your inbox. You can have it filtered somewhere else. Other information like the password resets. Yes, you absolutely have to get that into your inbox, but it doesn't need to stay there. So ideally, when Marian opens up her computer to check her email, this would be a much better thing to see, because then she can see, oh, those are the 4 emails I have to deal with. And yeah, she's going to have a bit of nonsense in there still, but at least she'll look at those emails and go, hey, I know I have to deal with these 4. I can take care of that and get to the Genius project and work right away. So I'm going to stop the share right here, and we're going to talk and a little bit about where your points of pain are. Let's see, I'm going to look at the chat here. Oh, Tamara, you have 21,000 emails in your inbox. Yes, we should clean those out. Schedule an introduction session with me, and we'll take 30 minutes and we'll clean stuff out, because that will be lots of fun. And that's the thing that I want to offer everyone. It's a 30-minute, hey, let's go in, because everybody's inbox is different. In fact, do I still have this in my cut and paste? There's my link again. Everybody's inbox is different, and there's different strategies for cleaning out these. So I have some strategies. Cindy, what am I supposed to be done in 6 minutes, or do I have a little bit more time for questions and tips? Oh, you're muted.
Okay.
There you are.
So we have, but wait, there's more. There's an opportunity to join us on July 6th. And Nicole and I've asked Nicole to be my conversation to connect, let's get real, to do a talk with her. And so we're going to have an opportunity to have more collaborative and Q&A, and she's going to be setting the groundwork like she did today. So if you have really deep questions, please put that on your calendar, Wednesday, July 6th, from noon to 1. So today we just want to kind of know what we can do, Nicole, given the warnings that you've given us, to be able to manage. And we know that you're the solution to our challenges, but we need to be done by 1:30. So you got 4 minutes.
I got 4 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to give you.
And then we'll do your offers after that. So the offers are not included in that 4 minutes.
Okay. Well, let me get to a quick little tip. Get to the right screen. All right. So I'm going to do a quick share, and I'm going to get this done in 4 minutes. All right, so for email, because at that one email, we don't want to miss that one email. So here is what you can do. And this is above unsubscribe. Go through, first tip is 100% unsubscribe, which I think is probably on this slide as well. So before that tip, one of the improvements that I generally will recommend is for people to set up an in-process folder. And that in-process folder, or it could be a to-do folder, or it could be an important folder, whatever you want to name it. I generally do recommend the exclamation point because you want that folder as high up on your list as possible. And this folder is for all of the emails that you need to do something about, but you can't do it at that moment. So like the email that you need to do in an hour and a half, or the email that you need to answer next Tuesday, put those in an in-process folder so that you can go look at your in-process folder and see that as a to-do list. So that's one little tip that I give you so that you can get stuff out of the inbox where it's safe. And then of course, the maintenance on that, do what you can to try to get to 0, because it is actually easier. And I'm definitely an inbox 0. And I recommend a triage process where you'll go and you'll look at each individual email. So you start with the first 10. Can I delete this? Just straight up delete it. Can I unsubscribe from it? Then unsubscribe from it. Do I need to save it? If you need to save it, I also recommend setting up a save folder so that you just get it out of your inbox so that you don't have to keep looking at it. Every time you have to look through that list is a potential of missing something. And then every day, if your inbox is crazy overwhelming, every day go through and unsubscribe from 5 newsletters. And then one last tip, because I got 2 minutes, one last tip is to create, and I didn't put this on my slide, I probably should. I've been creating an unsubscribed in all caps folder, so that when I unsubscribe from something, you know how you'll unsubscribe from something, but you still have the email because you still have to go delete it? I take one of those emails and I put it in my unsubscribe, and that gives me a documentation that I went through my process of unsubscribing. And then that way I know whether or not they did not believe me or they're not respecting my unsubscribe. Because you'll find the majority of legit companies will respect your unsubscribe, but there are a few who don't, and you want to know who those are so that you can mark them as spam. But first, please try to unsubscribe from them. So that's my tip for our email inbox. That's a quick little tip. Hopefully that was useful.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much. I want to allow time also to just finish up here. One of the quotes that I love that Nicole shares is, borrow the confidence you have in one area of your life and use it in the area where you need it. We all need to do that, right? To get confidence and encouragement when things are daunting. I appreciate you setting up the scary scenario. So Nicole, I'm going to kick it back to you and have you share what your special offer is to our Exceptional Connections community. I know you've alluded to it, but I want to give you an opportunity to tell us more about it.
Yeah. So there's 2 things. One, of course, I'm offering that free, let's get in and hammer out some of your email challenges, and that's the 30-minute call. But the other one that I want to tell you about is I have what I call the Rescue My Digital Office game. And so you go to luxcentric.com/game, and I will put that in the chat as well. And this here is my email list, and it's not your standard, here's all my things, buy my stuff email list, but every other week I go through one of the 12 topics that I focus on in helping you clean out your technology. So I give you a little tip on what we're going to do to perhaps optimize your browser, which means set up your bookmarks, how you use those. I offer tips on choosing calendar colors so that you can really do some time blocking. And this is an email list because I love email. And so you just subscribe to that email list and you'll get these fun little Rescue Your Digital Office by Techie Rescue tips every other week.
Awesome.
And you also find about cool things that I offer.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nicole. Thanks for helping us to be aware of things that we can do, and then for offering the support that you offer, and that's your area of genius. So thank you
Yes,
so much.
thank you.